home whites and the Bobcats in the traveling green jerseys. First and only matchup between these former division rivals in the Mid-American Conference. This will be the only time they will play this season, and here we go. First weeknight action for both squads, and it's going to be Buffalo that gets the first possession. Tyson Dunn, the point guard, and now they'll get it to their leading scorer, Ryan Sable, guarded by Elmore James aggressively. This is Ben Michaels, and this is A.J. Bolden down the lane, hangs and hits.
It's a good sign for the Bulls to get him going early.
Definitely need some increased production from A.J. Bolden. That is a good sign. And a great pass to a completely unguarded Aiden Hadaway, and that's not a good sign for Buffalo that the defense break down so quickly.
They were in the press there, but they didn't do a good job matching up out of it once Ohio got it across half court.
Starting lineups for you tonight are presented by the UB Alumni Association, representing over 300,000 alumni in 150 countries worldwide. Bachelor, Sable, Bolden, Dunn, and Michaels are the starting five for the Bulls. On the Ohio side, their regular group of starters. And you get a look at them there. James, Brown, Hadaway, Pavletsky, and Clayton. And there's A.J. Clayton. His first three of the game will not go. Clayton's the guy the Bulls have to stop and limit, leading rebounder and scorer for the Ohio Bobcats, and that's Sable missing his first three. Ryan Sable coming off a 25-point performance in the loss to Miami over the weekend.
As you can see early in the game, the Bulls, because of Ohio's ability to shoot the basketball, they're switching a lot of things, and they're switching back. They're doing a pretty good job of it right away.
Good defense by Dunn, and then a loose ball picked up by Sable, and a lead for Bolden with the right-hand slam. Excellent defense on both ends.
The Bulls are in this little press to try to slow Ohio, get them out of transition, and make them run half-court offense.
Working around to Pavletsky in the corner. He drives the baseline, gets blocked by Bachelor, but a foul. Andy O'Brien, John Floyd, and Tony Meeks are officiating trio as you get a look at Jeff Bowles in his 6th year as the Bobcats head coach. 105 wins, just 66 losses. 7th Ohio head coach with 100 wins. George Halkovich III in his 2nd year as Buffalo's head coach. Jeff Bowles has had good luck against Buffalo. He has won 7 of the 10 matchups against the Bulls since he has taken over on the Ohio sidelines. 1 of 2 free throws is good. The foul was actually against Tyson Dunn of Buffalo. Pavletsky on the board with the basket.
Looks like Ohio is also doing the same thing, trying to keep Buffalo out of transition and out of rhythm by going in a 1-2-2 three-quarter court press.
Sable in the corner, shot clock under 10. Ryan picks up the dribble, feeds Michaels, gotta go. Michaels, shot clock at 4. Little baby hook shot will go.
Great move by the freshman, took his time, got to his sweet spot.
And a quick shot on the other end. That won't fall for Hadaway, but the putback will for Elmore James. Neither of these teams, Turner, defend the three-pointer very well. Matter of fact, they're towards the bottom of the country in defending the three. Certainly, Buffalo tends to live and die on the three-pointer, particularly by Sable. That was a 2 that wouldn't go. So whichever team can figure out how to protect that arc a little better might have some success here tonight.
Right.
Step back, fall away jumper, too hard for A.J. Brown. Bachelor with the rebound.
That's good defense by the Bulls on that possession there. Just keeping the guys in front, keeping them no advantages, trying to get to the paint. 5
out right now for the Bulls. Everybody out on the arc. Looking for a shot. Now they'll cut some players to the lane. That jumper won't go for Bachelor. Bolden goes down on the court. Here come the Bobcats. Stutter step move on the dribble for James. Another fall away. That won't go. Rebounded by Dunn. Here come the Bulls, one of the better fast break teams in the Mid-American Conference. Sable one-on-one with Pavletsky. Into the lane, spins, scoops, scores.
That shows the evolution of his game, you know, not just being a three-point shooter. He was able to get in the paint, pivot, and create a basket for himself.
And a good start for the Bulls here on the scoreboard and effectively running the offense, playing good defense. Clayton, 2 shots won't go. And Ryan Sable brings it into the front court to a cutting A.J. Bolden. Pump fake, and he had it blocked. And here comes James. Pavletsky into the lane, picks up the dribble, and travels. And we will get to our first timeout of the night. It's an 8-5 early lead for the Buffalo Bulls. Ryan Sable, their leading scorer, on the board.
Created some turnovers, and they haven't turned the ball over, so that's been a positive for them so far.
And the Bulls are playing good defense because it has not been a good defensive stretch. They have given up 90 points in their last 3 games. That had not happened since 1999 when the season started for the Bulls, taking on North Carolina and Indiana in the debut of then head coach Reggie Witherspoon in that season. So Buffalo's defense here tonight, much, much better so far. Tyson Dunn tried to force that pass. He gets a lucky bounce to Bryson Wilson. Jumper off the bench, no good for Wilson. And here come the Bobcats. Sharif Mitchell in the ball game, number 4. Clayton, 3, won't go. A.J. Clayton struggling, 15.5 points a game, no points yet for the senior from Roseville, Ohio.
Bulls got some length on them now, so making those shots a little tougher.
Here's the big man, Tim Obo, in the paint, trying to find some space, find some room, won't shoot, kicks it back out instead. And we get a whistle. And that's going to be against Ohio. And we get Vic Searles for the foul. And Jeff Bowles, not a happy guy.
I think that was the right call, though. The guy pushed him into that play. They ran like a little ghost screen, and he pushed him into it. A lot of refs don't call that. They usually call it on the offensive end. That was a good job by the ref by seeing that. Now, let's see how Ohio responds. I know Mitchell's like a big key to their team. He's coming in the game bringing a lot of energy on the offensive, defensive side. You know, Coach spoke very highly of him, what he brings to the team.
Yeah, he missed 7 games, and I think they really suffered when he wasn't in there. And Coach Bowles could not have talked more about how Sharif Mitchell is a difference maker. And that pass was a little too high for Searles, and it goes out of bounds, and that's a turnover for the Bobcats. It's their 3rd turnover of the game. None so far for the Bulls.
It's been a little choppy game so far to begin with.
Yes, it has. Quick feed, 3. Won't find the rim for Ryan Sable, but Wilson is there, and he stepped out of bounds. And Bulls got to get Ryan Sable going.
Might have been rushing it a little bit too much, kind of let it come to him, get to the paint a little bit. You know, those shots that he's taking a little quick, especially for him to miss that bad, you know, he's probably rushing.
Yeah, number 2 in the conference in 3-pointers made per game is Ryan Sable. 41 of them already this season. So it remains a 3-point Buffalo lead, a little over 13 minutes to go first half, and we have contact and a foul on the Bulls as Sharif Mitchell goes down. Call that on Braden Jackson.
Well, it's one of those unfortunate fouls because he tripped over Jackson's feet. Jackson couldn't do much better. There's just, you know, point of emphasis. The guy falls, and they always call it on the defense.
Pavletsky looking for some room to operate. Fall away jumper. Back iron, no good.
Great defense by Dunn.
Obo with the rebound, yes. Well done by Tyson Dunn. Wilson, quick step to the lane, and that is A.J. Clayton. That is the Mac's leading shot blocker.
And that's one thing that their coaches talk about, his ability. You know, he doesn't look like he's athletic, but they said vertically he's really athletic, and he blocks a lot of shots. He's an anchor to their defense.
And already Ohio, which comes into this game among the better shot blocking teams in the league, has a couple. Dunn will trigger for the Bulls, loops it into Obo. Tim Obo, the freshman from London, England, goes up with the hook shot. Back iron, no good. Clayton rebound. Hand off to Mitchell. Nifty pass back to Clayton, and A.J. Clayton is just a little off on those three-point shots. He's a 35% three-point shooter on the season. Last 4 games, he's hitting 52% of his threes, but at the moment, A.J. Clayton's 0 for 2. 0 for 3, actually.
He's rushing, too. He thought he got fouled on that last one. He's telling the ref that he hit his hand.
Tyson Dunn to the rim and in. First 2 of the game for Tyson Dunn. Bulls are being aggressive offensively, Turner.
Yes, they are. They're taking their time, and they're not forcing it like they try to do at times.
And right now, they're taking advantage of an Ohio team that's shooting under 20% right now.
And I think that's some of the Bulls' defense that they're doing, too. The Bulls are, switching. They're aggressive. They're out there,
Somebody
contesting.
has a shoe off. Obo, who was down on the court. And they'll flip the shoe out of bounds. And they'll get it to the one-shoot Obo, and he can't hang on. And we're still playing with a player wearing just one shoe, and that goes out of bounds. Another turnover by the Bobcats. That should allow Tim Obo to retrieve his sneaker. Yeah, you don't get to keep that, sir. There it is.
That's a big shoe that's over there.
That's a big shoe. Is there any rule that games are supposed to be stopped for that or not stopped for that? Like, you could play in bare feet if you wanted?
It used to be a rule where they stopped it, but now they let the guys play until there's a break in the action.
Well, that's all well and good until somebody gets their toe stepped on and breaks a toe, and then that's the end of that.
Yep.
5-point Buffalo lead. Whip the pass to the right corner. Bolden goes up strong, hangs, and it rolls off.
That was a good attack by Bolden there. That was good defense by Searles, too, by not putting his arm down. That was good verticality by Searles.
And right back come the Bobcats to set their offense up. They got to find someone consistently who wants to score and can score. Hathaway won't try it. He'll get it to Mitchell. He'll go cross court for James. Elmore James spins in the lane. This is his 3rd fall-away attempt of the game. He hasn't made one of them yet, but Searles will get called for the foul on the rebound. And that will take us to a timeout. Buffalo hanging on to a 5-point lead. Tyson Dunn aggressive to the rim. Fun time. Lots of Bulls fans down there in Nassau in the Bahamas cheering on the team, and an outstanding effort all in all for the Bulls in that one. So pretty cool to have the trophy back here and be the first team to ever win the Bahamas Bowl twice. I would vote for the Bulls going to the Bahamas Bowl every single year, Turner.
You got to take me next time.
Next deal. That's a deal. Next time you're there. Braden Jackson into the lane. He hangs and he hits. The freshman from Milton, Ontario, has had some impressive games this season, 4 of them with 10 points or more. When the Bulls can get a little bit of him off the bench, that changes their offensive attack.
The Bulls are doing a really good job of scoring in the half court. That's sometimes they struggle by scoring and executing in the half court. They're doing a good job taking their time and scoring in the half court.
Step under reverse layup for Vic Searles, his first 2 of the night.
Great move by Searles, by just pivoting until he got to the basket.
Transferred from Division II Ashland, the grad student from Hilliard, Ohio. And that is Lloyd McVeigh trying to back in, gets called for the travel. 3rd turnover of the game for the Bulls. McVeigh will check out. A little coaching from George Halkovich.
He's got to let the game come to him. We're trying to force it there right now. I know he had a smaller guy on him, but you got to let that come. It's hard to do that on the first pass. Every good defense is good on the first pass.
And again, just 7 points for Ohio halfway through this first half. That has a lot to do with Buffalo's defense. It has something to do with Ohio just struggling to find someone to score. And Aiden Hathaway is the only player with more than 1 basket. That's his 2nd.
You can see the adjustment that Ohio's made is they want to get the ball inside. They're not shooting as many threes. They're setting some cross screens and diagonal screens to get the ball in the paint.
Paul Peck-Turner battle here at Alumni Arena in Buffalo, New York. Second MAC game of the year. Both the Bulls and the Bobcats. Quick hands and right into the front row by A.J. Sheldon, and that will force a turnover. Look at Sheldon. He's trying to get his guys fired up.
He brought in. This is a great hustle by Sheldon here by saving it. He got his hand on it. Their aggressiveness on the defensive end, as you can see, Coach Bowles must have laid into him pretty good because their aggressiveness is picking up and they're trying to bully him on the offensive end.
That's our buddy Steve Elmer, man. Steve loves to get involved in everything. I'm not sure he wanted to be that involved. Loop it down low for Hadaway. Backing in, big mismatch on Sable, and Hadaway at 6'8" takes advantage.
The adjustment that they've made is that they know that Buffalo's switching a lot of screens. So what they're trying to do is get a situation where the guard sets a diagonal screen for the post player, and it allows the post player to be matched up against the guard.
Ben Michaels into the lane will hand it off to Batchelor, who flings up a right-hander that goes. Sharif Mitchell step back, 18-footer, front rim no good. Bobcats are still struggling to find some offense and some consistent shooting. Ben Michaels hands off for Bryson Wilson. And Wilson loses the handle, stolen away. Stolen away by the Bobcats, ahead of the field, hanging and hitting. That's Aiden Evans.
Freshman from Kentucky, that was a good finish by him in traffic.
Yeah, long and lean at 6'8". Impressive move, and we get a timeout called as Ohio has now pulled back to within 1. Watch the quick hands, won 4 of their 5 games here at home.
That's a long time without a home game there.
It's a long time since I've had a chance to see you.
I know, it's been a minute.
Yeah, early December was the last home game before today, December 3rd.
Wow.
And part of that was by design for George Halkovich wanting to challenge his team to a very difficult schedule that included a lot of tough road games. Dunn's 3 was long and no good, and here's a chance for the Bobcats to take their first lead of the game, and they'll get it. A.J. Clayton with his first 3, and the Bobcats are on top.
And that's what Ohio does, is they push it in transition to get wide open threes, and Buffalo talked about sprinting batting matchup. They did not do a good job on that possession.
Buffalo has yet to hit a three-pointer in this game. Batchelor, kick it out. Here's a 3 attempt by Michaels. No good. Rebounded by Elmore James. It's an 11-2 Ohio run right now. And this will be an opportunity for both teams to talk about it. But A.J. Clayton is struggling. And again, what did I say to you, Turner? That Ohio is 354 in the country in defending the three-pointer. Buffalo is 349 in the country defending the three-pointer. And tonight we are combined 1 for 15.
Well, you called it.
Whoever
makes them is the team that's going to be successful. They're going to get them. They're going to get them, I'll tell you that.
You know, you would think we'd have had a whole lot of three-pointers at this point, but not the case. We had the quick foul there on Ryan Sable right off of the inbounds. And it's going to send A.J. Brown to the free throw line.
Neither teams are really in an offensive rhythm, and I think part of it is that both teams are doing a decent job of getting back in transition and allowing both teams to play in the half court.
Yeah, now again, this is the second straight game for Ohio because while they won over the weekend at Central Michigan, it was 57-55, and they shot just 5 of 23 from beyond the arc, so they didn't have a very good offensive game. It was their defense that won the game for them, and now this is 2 games in a row where they are kind of struggling to get into an offensive groove.
And that also shows a sign of a good team that you can win when you're not doing the things that you do best.
You can always win with defense, right? Defense usually always shows up one way or the other.
Right.
Right to the rim, and that looked like it was a shot deflected and blocked on Tyson Dunn. Back the other way, swinging around Pavletsky on the right side. He'll drive the baseline around Michaels, feed it to a wide open three that falls for Aiden Hadaway.
That was a good pass by Pavletsky there. Drift pass to the corner.
He's one of the best assisters in the MAC, and you saw it right there. A.J. Bolden will try the three, no good. Good offensive rebound momentarily for Braden Jackson, but it's going to be Ohio basketball. And now it's a 15-2 Bobcats run, and they add more to it. Here's Hadaway, the hot scorer. A.J. Brown drives right side of the lane, flag before the, flag. I'm still in Bahamas Bowl mode. Whistle before the shot.
It's a good pass here by Pavletsky going baseline. Instead of forcing it, he hit the guy wide open. Hadaway was able to step in and knock it down.
That's 9 points for Aiden Hadaway. That's right at his average. Unexpected offensive contribution for him.
And that speaks of the depth that Ohio has. You know, when speaking to Coach Bowles, he really talked about how he felt like his team had, 8 starters. And that talks about, that's why they were picked first, but they felt like they had 8 starters and that they could put guys in the bench that could probably start in any other team in the conference.
It gives him a lot of flexibility, gives him a lot of chance to interchange parts here and there. As you can see, it's a 16-2 run now. A.J. Brown will try to add one onto it, and he does. 17-2 Ohio run. Well, the Bulls had a 7-point lead earlier in this game, about 5 minutes ago. Game time, 5 minutes. Whip it to the top of the key, wide open three, Ben Michaels back iron, no good.
Bulls have had some good looks, they just got to knock a few of those down. That was a good pass by Dunn.
Mitchell kind of got caught in the air, was able to get the ball to Hadaway. And again, Hadaway on Sable is a massive size mismatch for the Bobcats, and they are taking advantage of it. So why is the 6'3" Sable covering the 6'8" Hadaway?
Well, the Bulls are switching a lot of their actions. They're switching a lot of ball screens and switching a lot of handoffs and off-ball screens, which causes the bigs, the guards to be on the bigs, and so Sable got caught on them, and Ohio's doing a really good job of taking advantage of that, especially the last few possessions.
Yeah, we've seen that at least 3 times already. Ben Michaels has the shot blocked by Clayton. Coming over with the help on the block to Sharif Mitchell. Sable goes flying by, and that ball was tipped by the Bulls, so Ohio no over and back there. Pavletsky. Step back three for him. No good. Rebound for Bryson Wilson. Bulls want to run again. Trying to feed Ben Michaels. He'll dump it off for Bolden. Sable open three. Back iron, no good. And that's going to be a foul on the Bulls.
A little bit of I know it was a hustle play, but tough foul there.
So Ryan Sable 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. The Bulls certainly need his points in his three-point shooting and missed a couple of open ones. And there's A.J. Clayton. That is why he leads the MAC in blocked shots.
He's kind of all over the place.
He
man.
is. So it makes him great.
Yeah, he's blocked shots. He's able to trail and knock down shots. He's physical inside. He's been in the league for a while, so he knows.
Preseason first-team All-MAC, A.J. Clayton. He likes playing against Buffalo, too, and then follow up on that in a moment. Here's Clayton cutting down the lane. He had that shot blocked from behind. Hadaway had the ball stripped, but a foul. Who comes flying in to block this shot?
I think it was Bryson Wilson.
I believe you are right. He and Dunn were both there. And then it was done with what he thought were the quick hands. Instead, it's a second foul.
I thought that was clean there. I thought it was a clean swipe.
So it's Aiden Hadaway to the free throw line. Bulls have gone over 4.5 minutes without any points, thus allowing this 19-4 Ohio run make it 20-4.
Yeah, this kind of had a lid on. I mean, the Bulls have had some really good shots, but this is hurts the Bulls by Dunn getting his second foul, because now it puts a lot of stress on Sable playing point guard instead of allowing him to operate off screens and get open shots.
And lulls like this have not been uncommon for the Bulls this year. That's just a product of a young team. They played really well for the first 10 minutes of this game, and then all of a sudden, and it happened in the game at Temple, and it's happened in a couple of their other games, they just hit one of these stretches where they can't score and the games get away from them.
Yeah, that comes with what you said, experience and all. That was a good steal there by Mitchell.
Sharif Mitchell glides in, had it blocked by Sable, and it goes out of bounds. We're going to get a foul.
That was great on-ball defense here. Sable got a little lax, and Mitchell got a little aggressive. Like he might have stepped out of bounds there too, but good attack by Mitchell.
And that'll be the second foul on Ryan Sable as well.
This is a really key moment for the Bulls. You can look at 4:44 right now. Sable has 2 fouls and Dunn has 2 fouls, and you bring in 2 freshmen, freshman and sophomore in, and with less experience.
Yep, Kayvon Bradford will have to come in, and the Bulls find themselves down 12 points, 13 points.
And Ohio's going to pick the pressure up.
First halves have not been kind to the Bulls. They are being outscored by 88 points in the first half throughout their first 13 games. Lloyd McVeigh spins into the lane and has it fall off. Rebounded by Clayton. Ahead for Mitchell. Thought about the 3, had it knocked away and stolen away. Good hustle, and it results in a slam for Bolden. Great hustle by the Bulls.
Yeah, Bradford did a really good job diving on the ball. Bolden stayed with it, was able to get a dunk. Maybe that was something that can get them sparking, get them to get a spark.
Under 4 minutes to go, first half. Mitchell loops it. Alley-oop. Wow.
Whoa.
And one. What a slam dunk for the freshman Aiden Evans. One of the best you'll see. Fouls on A.J. Bolden, so A.J. Clayton will go to the line for the free throws on the technical.
I think coach is upset. I mean, the foul differential right now is 10-2, and both teams are playing man-to-man and being physical, so he's probably not happy that the foul situation is the way that it is.
All right, so both technical free throws are good after the T was called on George Halkovich III, and now the and one for Aiden Evans. That has been a frustrating back end of this first half for GH3 and the Bulls. No good on the and one. Nearly stolen away by Sharif Mitchell. And it'll stay with the Bulls.
This is kind of what Mitchell does.
Yeah. Does he bring some energy or what?
Oh, yes, he does. I mean, you can see he's quick, he's fast, he can score. He does a lot for them.
Jeff Bowles called him a disruptor. I think basically referring to how good he plays on defense, but that refers to kind of everything that we've seen from him.
He's a capable scorer as well, too.
Yeah, now that he's back from the knee injury, he has made this a much different Ohio team. So the Bulls in a 15-point hole as part of a 26-6 Ohio run. McVeigh gets fouled as he goes up before the shot gets blocked by Clayton.
Called this foul on Evans here. Evans must have stuck his hand in there.
Yeah, right there. You got it.
Yep.
Good eyes. So Lloyd McVeigh, the sophomore from Australia, to the free throw line for the Bulls. No good. Aiden Hadaway, leading scorer in this ballgame for the Bobcats with 13 points back in the game.
Ohio wants to finish this half strong, but the Bulls need to do a good job on the defensive end by getting some stops. They got to make their free throws, too.
Yep. Lloyd McVeigh misses them both. Mitchell loses it, stolen away by Michaels. Michaels to Bradford. Bolden.
Good transition defense there by Ohio.
Yeah, no Sable, no Dunn in the ballgame right now for the Bulls. Get it down low to Michaels, and that's a good, strong up by Ben Michaels.
Good move by the freshman on the senior there.
back, just kind of pulled the ball back enough to create some space to have the shot up and over the arms.
Right.
Pavletsky whips it to the corner. Hadaway, three won't go.
Bradford's bringing some energy here in his first half.
Steps into the lane, kicks it for Bolden. And back to Bradford to reset.
The question is, without Dunn and without Sable, who are the Bulls going to look for scoring?
And that's going to be a foul. They try to get it to Bradford, and he will draw the foul on A.J. Sheldon.
It's a great pass there by Michaels.
Almost sent Kayvon Bradford flying. He wanted the shooting foul, as you saw in the replay. He won't get it, though. Little trouble getting it in. Little trouble. Does finally to Michaels, trapped in the corner. Ben Michaels dribbles it out. Trades it off with Bryson Wilson right to the rim, no finish.
Good move, got to finish that one. Good move by Bryson Wilson.
Sheldon stutter step move for two.
That's a great change of pace by Sheldon. Stop and go, great change of pace by Sheldon.
Just throws the defense off just enough, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. You think he's going to stop and run it, and then he just picks up, changes speeds and goes. Then he finished with the inside hand, so the shot blocker couldn't get there.
Michaels down low for Wilson, knocked out of bounds by the Bobcats. Ohio coming off a victory in their MAC opener over Central Michigan. First MAC opener that they've won in 3 years. Nice little momentum boost for them. Did not have the non-conference that I think Jeff Bowles expected that they would.
Yeah, but they have won their last 5 out of 6 games, so they're getting Shreve Mitchell back. They're in a good space.
Ben Michaels for three, back iron no good. Who's got the rebound? A.J. Bolden does. He hangs and it falls off.
And it's a lid on the basket for the Bulls right now.
And Bolden was able to track down his own miss and draw a foul.
And Bolden did a good job staying with it, but as the ball just hangs on the rim.
A.J. Bolden's hustling out there just after a couple of those baskets early. Hasn't been able to get anything to go down.
Bulls are really struggling from the field, shooting 28% from the field and have not hit a three yet.
Yeah, they got a streak of 320 straight games with a three-pointer that they're going to have to work on. Good inbounds and an easy two for Fredericks Mainarts. First basket of the game for the freshman from Latvia.
As bad as they're shooting the ball, they're still only down 13 points. I mean, it's still there. They just got to make a little run here at the end of the first half.
Searles backs in, pushes Mainarts out of the way and scores. That's 240 pounds versus 195.
Veteran move by Searles. Veteran move there against the young fella, Mainarts.
Minute to go, first half. 15-point Bobcats lead. Bulls started this game off well and have just hit a lull from about the midway point, and it's going to struggle to score, and that's going to head over to Ohio. Again, good hustle. Searles in the middle of it again.
And Searles comes in and brings energy as well too. Big body, experience, played at a different level, and just knows how to play and knows himself. That's the difference between Ohio and Buffalo right now. They have older guys that are comfortable. They're not figuring themselves out like some of these young guys are for the Bulls.
Yeah, and even if they're older guys like Searles, who played at Division II or played in other places, they've got that game time experience to kind of learn how to make the mistakes. Fall away jumper goes for Elmore James.
That must be his shot. He
it
shot
must
that
be.
about three-fourths. Yeah.
That's at least the fifth one of them he's taken, and it's the first one he's made. Final shot of the first half. Bulls trying to find anything to have some positive momentum to go into the locker room. It's been all Ohio in the last 10 minutes. Kayvon Bradford, shot clock, game clock running down, just flings it up, and it comes up short. And that was great defense by Elmore James of the Bobcats. We had the Bahamas Bowl trophy here. Fans are catching things in the stands, and we do, so Pete's got to get that thing back onto the football office where it belongs. So
yeah, the best thing they did was take it away from us, because that thing was hanging off on the side
yes,
there too.
Yes, it was. If that conch shell thing dropped and broke, it'd be the end of my football career, I can tell you that. We are getting going, starting off here in the second half. The Bulls and the Ohio Bobcats, and the Bobcats built that 17-point lead, as we pointed out, even though they didn't get a lot of offensive contributions from the guy who has the balls now, Paveletzky, or A.J. Clayton, two of their best scorers. They did it with a lot of other players in a lot of other ways, and there's Jackson Paveletzky. Or I'm sorry, that's Aiden Hadaway, up to 15 points in the game now.
I mean, Hadaway is really good at dipping that shoulder and creating space to get that shot off on the fade.
He is too shy of his career high, Aiden Hadaway. Noah Batchelor back in the game for the Bulls. He rolled his ankle a bit there in the first half. That's a nice feed and an easy dunk for Ben Michaels. Paveletzky, give and go. Clayton layup good. There's the two guys I was talking about. When Ohio's offense is working, those two guys are the reason why.
Good pass.
Out, Batchelor open three, still won't go. Bulls now 0 for 13 from beyond the arc, and that will draw a foul on A.J. Bolden's hustling offensive rebound.
That was just Bolden, great pass by Dunn there, but Bolden just going in there fighting. Nobody boxed him out. He was able to get to the glass, and he got fouled.
So the sophomore from Delray Beach, Florida, A.J. Bolden, to the free throw line. 6 points in the first half for Bolden. Make it 7.
The first 4 minutes of the second half are really important to see how.
You can see Batchelor still struggling with that ankle that he hurt earlier in the game.
Doesn't have the lift, not moving the way he was before.
Finish your point about these first 4 minutes.
It's important to see how both teams will, Ohio, step it up a lot. I know Coach Alkovich probably really challenged his guys to come out the first 4 minutes and really get some stops and get some easy baskets to get back in the game, a couple minutes at each possession at a time. One
of 2 free throws for Bolden. There's Paveletzky running in on Sable, backing in on Sable, up and in. And Jackson Paveletzky, who averages just under 12 a game, up to 3 now. Again, Ohio did all their damage in the first half without a lot from him and without a lot offensively from Clayton. Bulls haven't gotten much offensively from that guy until now. That's the first 3 of the game for the Bulls. Tyson Dunn drains it, keeps Buffalo's streak alive, now 321 consecutive games with a 3. 3 from the corner, that will go for A.J. Brown.
Good job by Ohio making a one more pass. Buffalo can't afford to go shot for shot with Ohio. They got to get some stops.
Dunn feeds it to Jackson. Short. Rebounded by Hadaway. Into the corner again. Brown just hit one from there. Not this time. Everybody jumps up for the rebound. The 6'8" Hadaway gets it. Brown kicks it out. Top of the key. Paveletzky had it knocked out of his hand, stolen away by Sable. Here come the Bulls on the break. This is Tyson Dunn. Dunn on Clayton, no good. Clayton might have gotten a piece of that. Hadaway the other way. Into the corner. No good on the 3 from Elmore James, and a whistle.
A little frantic on both ends. Both teams do like to push the ball in transition. And both teams did get some pretty good looks. They just weren't able to finish them.
And here's Tyson Dunn. That's the first 3 of the game for the Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls are going to need Dunn and Sable to pick their production up on the offensive end to get back in this game.
Yeah, Ryan Sable just 2 points. Tyson Dunn had just 2 points until that 3. There's Sable with his second basket of the night. 16.6 points a game, second in the MAC in scoring. Clayton on the other end, 7th in the MAC in scoring. He's up to 9, or that was a 3, that makes it 10.
They're doing what they do best, spread the court and shoot threes.
And the foul is going to be on the Bobcats as Braden Jackson tried to spin to the baseline.
Transition here. The Bulls don't do a good job matching up. No urgency really to get out there and make him put it on the floor. And he's in rhythm, knocks it down.
His career high of 23 points, including 7 3-pointers, came in a game last year against UB for A.J. Clayton. He referenced he likes to play against the Bulls. That's the reason why. Inbound on the nice cut, but Michaels had it blocked, but a foul.
Good execution. Out of bounds under by the Bulls.
Hadaway got a piece of the ball, got a piece of the arm as well.
It was a good slip by Michaels, and it was a good pass by Dunn.
Bulls have had a couple of nice little inbound plays like that. Easy baskets, or at least easy attempts at baskets. So Ben Michaels, the freshman from England, to the free throw line. And it hits all parts of the rim and rolls in. Michaels has now started the last 3 games. Bulls changed around the starting lineup a bit, but more playing time for the freshman who, from England, but played last year at Long Island Lutheran High School, which is a national power on the high school end.
Yeah, so he's got experience with international and playing over here too.
Free throws are good for Ben Michaels, up to 8 points in the game for him. Right at his average. 19-point Ohio Bobcats lead. Clayton on the right wing. Knocked away, quick hands by Dunn, but knocked it right back to Elmore James. They'll get it into Clayton on the left side now. Shot clock at 2, at 1. Clayton beats the shot clock. It won't go. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bobcats.
Hadaway's doing a really good job actively scoring inside, but you know he's part of the reason why they got the ball back. He's just active on the glass, and I know coach has really been on him about getting to that glass and creating extra possessions for his team.
He's the player of the game right now for the Bobcats.
Right.
Aiden Hadaway with 15 points in this game and 12 rebounds. First double-double of the season. Corner 3 won't go for Bolden. This is Mitchell. Clayton spins off of Michaels. Right-handed hook will go.
Good move by
That's a player who might very well be the MAC Player of the Year, and that's a reason why. You see the numbers so far as A.J. Clayton is heating up here in the second half. 7 points just in the second half.
Ohio's doing a really good job not letting Sable get any open looks. And they got Mitchell on him, and Mitchell is not, giving him any steps.
And if you can take Ryan Sable's offense out, you know this is why the Bulls are struggling. Sable hustles to get the offensive rebound and one. Got to keep an eye on him all times, and that's a great follow-up play by Ryan Sable. We'll come back for the three-point play. 34th in the country in three-point shooting is Ryan Sable, and 0 for 3 tonight. And you know, if he doesn't make threes, the Bulls just don't have anyone else consistently to make threes, which is why they are 9th in the conference in three-point shooting.
You got to give Ohio credit. They're doing a really good job of making his catches tough and really kind of making him make a play off the bounce or get rid of it or not even catch it at all.
Yeah, now in their win over Central Michigan over the weekend, Ohio held Chippewas to 2 of 15 three-point shooting. So they've allowed only 3 of the last 32 threes to go in. Searle spins around Oboe and scores.
It's a great move by Searles, man. Searles is just, he's a heady player. You can tell he knows how to play, and he doesn't really get outside of himself.
Tyson Dunn loses the handle and will draw the foul.
And you look at Searles just backing him down, backing Oboe down until he created an angle for himself. Good little shimmy with his shoulder. Able to finish with his left hand. He can finish with both hands around the basket.
It's a veteran move, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Against a freshman who's still learning.
Yep.
Fouls on Sharif Mitchell. Loop it into Ben Michaels, and he gets an easy one. Double figures for Ben Michaels, the first Bull to hit 10 points. Jackson Pavletsky from the lane won't go. Gets his own rebound. Pavletsky had it knocked out of bounds by Tyson Dunn. There was a chance Tyson Dunn might have been wearing an Ohio uniform. Jeff Bowles spoke very highly of him, said they recruited him to fill the role that is currently being filled by Pavletsky.
Yeah, there's a recruiting battle, and both players are really good players and very similar in a way too.
And the skyhook flies the rim, but Clayton is there for the putback.
This is a big lineup for Ohio. I mean, they got Searles and AJ Clayton
stolen away by Mitchell. Mitchell lets the defense go by him, and that's going to be a goaltending on Tim Obo. So 2 for Sharif Mitchell.
Mitchell disrupting as he normally does.
He is a disruptor. That's Jeff Bowles' words, and we have seen that here tonight.
Defensively, man, he's just, he's relentless on the ball. That's one thing Coach Bowles says. He's relentless and he's tough to get around.
And that's a steal by Sheldon. Beats Clayton, who tried for the big tomahawk dunk and got fouled. Sheldon anticipating the pass, sees his teammate.
Sheldon's another one too. He's another guy who, when he comes in the game, he picks up the defensive intensity and he plays hard. And you can see also on the sideline, he's always, if he's not in the game, he's the first one cheering and yelling for his teammates.
Junior from Dublin, Ohio, and the kind of player that Jeff Bowles loves to have on his team. Like you said, whether he's in the game or not, he's making an impact. So that's 10 points in the second half now for A.J. Clayton, as you see Kayvon Bradford come in the ball game for the Bulls. One of 2 from the line for A.J. Clayton, who also has a couple of blocked shots here. Give him 25 on the season. That leads the MAC.
Clayton's had a quiet 15.
Yeah. It was a quiet first half. Miscommunication, but Sable able to bring it back in.
Look at that on-ball defense. Wow.
Look at Mitchell. Look at Sharif Mitchell play some defense.
Wow.
And the foul is going to go on Ohio. That reminds me a little bit of Dante Carruthers that the Bulls had here in the glory years of 2018 and 19. Just would come in the ball game and he would be playing at 1,000 miles an hour. Everybody else would be playing at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, and that's just very simple what Mitchell does. I mean, he's making it, changing directions, making it hard for you, making it hard to catch it. He's making it hard for him to bring it up the court.
Frederick Maynard's going to check back in the ball game for the Bulls. He'll take out Tim Obo. And Ryan Sable to the free throw line. Ryan Sable had an interesting experience a couple of weeks or so ago. His cousin is Riley Leonard, the starting quarterback for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Ryan was able to go to the game, the playoff game in Notre Dame Stadium when they beat Indiana. And I know he'll be watching Thursday night when Riley Leonard and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish take on Penn State in the national semifinals of the college football playoff. They have been close since they're kids, and they remain close to this day.
Riley was at the game when UB played at Notre Dame as well.
That is correct. Free throws are good for Ryan Sable. Hadaway feeds Brown. This is Mitchell. He'll step back over the line and have the three-pointer rim in and out, but Searles is there for the putback. Vic Searles and A.J. Sheldon have been the guys that have gotten this game going for Ohio back in the first half, and then now here as well.
Oh, yeah. And they're both, older guys that have a lot of experience.
Yeah, and I think in some ways, and again, George Halkovich III, when we talked to him, he knows he's got 11 freshmen. He knows he doesn't have those older guys, but you've been around this sport so long that it makes such a difference when you have some, guys who have been around a little bit.
Yeah, you know, you got to be comfortable in your own skin. And Coach Alkovich has brought in some young guys, and he's shown some great patience with those guys. And you hope that with the experience that they get by playing, that'll allow those guys to get better. And, you know, you as a coach, man, you use all these games as learning experiences, and you tell them, hey, remember when they did this? Well, now we're on top. We're going to do that to them.
I want you to watch this three. Is it a three for Sable? Yes, it is. They took a look at that to make sure. Top of the key three for Michaels won't go. Long lead pass. Searles ahead of everybody else. Oh, man. Bulls flying over the top of him. Bradford hits the ground hard. Draws the foul. Basket won't go. Bradford pops up and limps off. We go to a timeout. Ohio in control. Leading. It depends on who you played, how hard a schedule you played. You know, again, I think in some ways it's a little hard, even when you look at those standings, to, you know, maybe a week ago we would have said, oh, Akron, Kent, Ohio, Toledo, but I don't know that any of those teams are playing the way they think they should be right now to know that they're flat out the teams to beat.
And that can be good and bad. You know, you want to be peaking at the right time, and sometimes you use non-conference to refocus. You know, when you pick first, sometimes you may relax and things like that. But, you know, when you're not winning, coach can get on you a little bit and really kind of shake things up.
Sharif Mitchell flies in, and Searles is there for one putback. Second one, that won't go. Another chance for the Bobcats, and a foul. A.J. Brown will draw the foul. Yeah, I think the point is the league is still trying to figure out who it is right now.
Yeah, I agree. Because once again, you said the non-conference schedules are so different. Some teams challenge themselves, some don't, and you just never know until probably about a month from now.
Yeah, I would say when we put that standing up for you in early February, we'll start to have a feel for who's good. But I think no matter what happens between now and then, this Ohio team is one of those teams. You know, again, preseason polls can be as meaningless as ever now because you just don't know what the changes were from one year to the other. But when Ohio, based on their history, based on bringing guys like Mitchell and Brown and James and Clayton back, you knew they were going to be good, and they certainly look like they're good. Right.
It goes back to what Coach said earlier about having a deep team that he feels like he could start. You know, he's got 8 starters and doesn't lose anything when guys come in and out of the game.
And that's a turnover by the Bulls. The pass does not connect. A wraparound pass. Searles gets mugged by a couple of Bulls. No foul, just out of bounds.
That's a great pass by A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I don't have it. There's no doubt in my mind that when we get to the end of February, Ohio's going to be right there in one of the top couple of spots. They're just a veteran team with some really, really good players.
Right.
And it was interesting when we had a chance to talk to Jeff Bowles when he talked about this Buffalo team, completely understands the challenges. He understands what George Halkovich is trying to do. And Jeff Bowles' quote was, they're going to be a different team in February. Now, that's easy for a coach who does not have to play the Bulls again this season to say that. But what did he mean by that?
Well, one thing he did say, he said that the team is getting better. He said he knows they're young. He likes the team that they have, and it's going to take time. And he said the one thing about this team is they don't quit, and I agree, they don't quit, and they just got to learn how to not have the big droughts that they have, and the other teams able to kind of capitalize on that, and part of that is the youth that the Bulls have.
Yeah, and again, that drought was a 26-6 run that allowed Ohio to take a 7-point deficit and turn it into a 17-point lead at the half when the Bulls did not make a 3-pointer the entire first half. That's kind of what turned this game around. Corner 3 from Tyson Dunn, back iron, no good. Ben Michaels able to get the rebound. Step through the lane, and 2 for Kayvon Bradford. Freshman from Portland, Oregon. Bradford working on Mitchell. Sharif slides to the right. And we get a whistle away from the ball. That's going to go on Hadaway. nice move here by Bradford.
It's a tough move. I mean, good finish over a 6'9" opponent.
Foul was on Bradford, correction, on Buffalo. And that's Bradford trying to guard Searles. Searles will dump it off for an easy 2 for Aiden Hadaway. Up to 17 points and 13 rebounds for Aiden Hadaway. New career high on the rebound side, within range of a new career high on the point side.
Searles has got like that old school game. Yeah. He looks like one of the guys that could be playing in, back in the 70s and 60s.
I agree with you.
And he knows how to play. Yeah. That pass he just made there to Hadaway beforehand was just a great pass.
You feel like you could see him in a headband and one of those old Portland Trail Blazers uniforms with the diagonal stripes playing next to Bill Walton, right?
That's exactly what I was about to say.
The stash helps as well, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Steal by the Bulls. Bryson Wilson glides in and draws a foul. And again, you know, to talk a little more about Searles, he's 6.5 points a game, 3.5 rebounds a game. They don't numbers that don't jump out at you, but he just comes in the game and changes the game with his energy, with his hustle, just scores enough, rebounds enough, has enough skills to be able to stay on the floor and be part of the reason why a team that maybe isn't showing as much life as they should starts to show it, as you see Vic's numbers there.
I think that's what Coach was saying. You know, he's a guy that can play a whole lot of minutes and be really effective for him, or a guy that may not play a lot and be okay with it because he knows that his time's going to come and he doesn't get upset or get frustrated. He's going to be the same every time.
And again, it was Searles and Sheldon who gave this team some life about midway through the first half when they were really struggling and turned up the defense, and then all of a sudden Hadaway started scoring and all those other guys. Sharif Mitchell came in the game and really added some defense, and that's the story of the day right now. And Bryson Wilson trying to make the steal, takes a hard hit, pops up.
That's one of those ones where you just get up real fast so you don't feel it.
Is that the strategy?
Oh, yeah. You fall hard, you just get up fast. You know, you won't feel that till tomorrow.
You will feel it, though, won't you?
Oh, yeah, you're going to be sore.
And that's turnover. Jay Sheldon in the middle of that, and it will go to Buffalo. Dunn will loop it into Wilson. Keeping an eye on where he was on the half-court line. Ryan Sable hands off to Michaels. Tried to find the cutting Sable. Out of bounds. Deflected. It'll stay with the Bulls.
That was good hands by Ohio because he was open.
Yep, after just 2 in the first half, Ryan Sable has 10 here in the second half to get a conference. Well, the rebounding has been very good here today, and only 46 points allowed, and the Bulls have struggled to shoot threes, struggled to shoot field goals and threes. Tells you that the defense has been good.
I'm sure they were working on it in practice. You know, I know it's one thing, you know, coaches are perfectionists. They want to make sure that those are big intricacies in winning, is that you got to rebound the basketball and you got to defend.
Yep, that was Aiden Hadaway's 14th rebound of the game, a new career high for him. And again, and Sharif Mitchell was part of Jeff Bull's explanation about why he knew his team's defense was going to get better, and we have seen that here. And there's A.J. Clayton, first team preseason All-MAC, up to 17 points now. Tyson Dunn spots up 3, no good. Rebound for Clayton. Pavletsky had the pass intercepted and stolen away by Lloyd McVeigh. Lloyd feeds Bryson Wilson. Quick hands in there to knock it away.
Good pass here by McVeigh.
It's a little behind the back, over the top of the head pass there.
Yeah.
Foul was called on Pavletsky. And Bryson Wilson, first points of the night for the sophomore from the Washington, D.C. area. Under 8 minutes to go now. Pawelski, the transfer from Wofford and Iowa State, first year with the Bobcats, feeds his teammate Elmore James, three-pointer no good. Loose ball corralled by McVeigh. Lloyd McVeigh dribbling down court, gets caught and travels. That'll take us to a timeout. Ohio up by 19 points, heading towards a 2-0 start in the MAC. Trying to finish strong here, trying to find little nuggets of momentum, things that George Halkovich can work on, can show his team. Turner, we talked about this last year. You were on one of these teams that really struggled. You're just trying to find something to have those film sessions be positive.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's learning experiences and you use it as motivation. You know, that's one thing when we won those 5 games that year, and we lost them the same way. You know, we'd be up, but we couldn't finish the game and lose it close. And, man, we watched that so many times where we used to get sick and tired of it and say, we're not losing this no more.
Yeah, and then there'll be a tipping point, right, at some point where the guys will go, you know what, no more of this, no more.
Right,
and that may happen. Again, I'll yield to Jeff Bowles, who said he thinks it's going to happen for this team at some point before the MAC schedule is over.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's right. I mean, the conference is wide open. I think anybody can take it. It's all about playing your best basketball at the right time.
A.J. Clayton up to 19 points now after just 5 in the first half. Dunn into the lane, off the side of the backboard. Wilson comes crashing through bodies and draws a jump ball. Possession will stay with the Bulls.
I mean, Wilson's playing hard. He's on the glass. I mean, he's attacking everything. One thing with the Bulls, you can't question their effort. It's just sometimes the execution, and it's hard to defend at a high level when you're not scoring.
And, you know, again, great move by Ben Michaels to get to the rim and just has it fall off. He probably shot that harder than he needed to.
Yeah, I mean, it was in and out.
And I don't mean harder like put it up to her, like it was an easy layup, just roll it in.
Yeah.
You know, again, same thing with Bryson Wilson. Now, Sable is there for the putback. Sometimes I wonder the guys trying to make highlight reel films instead of just easy layups.
I mean, it's easier to talk about it when you get to the cup there. You know, you feel like you got to make a move because you don't want to get it blocked.
Yeah, and good hustle by Sable.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good Euro step by Bryson Wilson, and just didn't have the soft touch to kind of finish it on the glass.
Jackson Pawelski to the free throw line, the junior from Kimberly, Wisconsin. Mentioned the 2-time transfer now in his 3rd school. Just 4 points here tonight. He came in as the MAC's leader in assists, top 30 in the country. Pawelski with only 3 points and only 4 assists, but he has been picked up by a lot of his teammates.
Yeah, the depth that they have, you know, he can have an off night and they still can have a lot of success. That's what makes a really good team.
Pawelski will check out. Just a little over 6 minutes to go in this one. Ben Michaels for 3, gets it.
He's been a bright spot for the Bulls. You know, he's missed some layups, but he's also made some things, made some plays.
Kind of out of control down the lane was Hadaway, but there for the putback is Elmore James.
Yeah, that's that rebounding that Coach Bowles was talking about. They're attacking the offensive glass, following plays.
And, you know, to follow up on your point, Ben Michaels is kind of the classic example of what the Bulls are working with right now. Super talented, all the talent in the world, but, you know, a freshman, a youngster coming 2 years ago from England to play in the States. There's a learning curve there. There has to be, and it's just a matter of when it's going to kind of click in. That was Elmore James with the 3.
Yeah, big part when you got a young team is consistency on both ends.
And that's two in a row for the Bulls from beyond the arc. That's Tyson Dunn. Bulls still only 4 of 22, 4 of 23 now from 3. Again, Ohio continuing outstanding three-point defense in their first 2 MAC games. That's travel on Sharif Mitchell. I think Ben Michaels, before this season is over, is going to open some eyes. There's Tyson Dunn with the 3, and saw the Michaels one before that.
I agree. I think he's definitely going to be able to open some eyes. I mean, he's already done it. He's got to be a little bit more consistent, and he'll get more consistent with the time that he plays.
I assume we got some kind of technical foul here, because Ryan Sable's the only one there. And he hits them both. I don't know what would have gotten Jeff Bowles worked up enough to have drawn one.
Hadaway.
Technical was actually on Hadaway, not on Jeff Bowles. Must have said something. Hadaway's filling the stat sheet in all kinds of ways tonight.
Yeah, he's having a really good game.
Kick it out for a 3, too far, too long from Braden Jackson. Spin move by Sharif Mitchell, but maybe a little too much there as the pass was picked off by Dunn. Bolden lets everybody go by him, and 1.
That's one thing that Jeff Bowles said about this team, is that what makes Buffalo scary as they get better and get more experience is that they play hard, they don't give up. And that's one thing that they've done all year. And, you know, that's saying right now that they're, you know, can cut this game, you know, to you know, single digits possibly, and maybe get in the game, and if they can get a few stops in a row and some buckets.
A.J. Bolden short on the free throw, and he'll hustle after his own miss, but he stepped on the end line.
As a coach, that's what makes things encouraging when you struggle a little bit, is the effort. You know, a lot of times, especially nowadays, a lot of coaches find themselves trying to coach effort, especially when things don't go well through adversity. But this group continues to fight, and that's how you learn, is when in adverse situations and trying to control what you can control.
Clayton for 3, got it.
Tough shot. Big shot.
22 points for A.J. Clayton after just 5 in the first half. 7 rebounds and 3 blocks as well. 20-point Ohio lead. Dunn kicks it for Sable. Tyson Dunn, covered 3, goes. And now some full court pressure by the Bulls. Sheldon able to get it to Clayton, and an easy two-handed flush for A.J. Clayton. Michaels off glass and in. Hey, if nothing else, some of these young Bulls are getting a chance to do some things like Ben Michaels with a career-high 15 points.
Right.
Wow. Boy, A.J. Clayton, he's going to get 27 points. He might wind up with 30 points tonight on a game where he was sort of invisible in the first half.
Well, he's making up for it right now. And I think when he hit that 3, he said something to Coach Alkovich too afterwards.
And Bolden with the bucket, and we'll come back from the timeout with a chance for A.J. Bolden to make it a 3-point play. We're watching A.J. Clayton in the range of an amazing career milestone as well. Stick around and come back.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out of market.
But at 27 points, he's in the range of another big game for himself. And again, we were commenting that they didn't get much out of him in the first half, which was a surprise, yet they still had a 17-point halftime lead.
Well, a big part of that is because Soros came in and played well in the first half. And they had the freshman Evans, who came in and had a spark for him in the first half. We haven't seen much in the second half.
Clayton playing catch with Sheldon here, just under 3 minutes to go in this one. Sable on the switch, now guarding Mitchell. Double team now. Get it down low for Searles, up and in. That's 10 points for Vic Searles.
Great pass by Mitchell, too, off that ball screen late. That can be a little tough for the Bulls. You know, you play really good possession of defense, and then at the end, you kind of have a little breakdown right there. And a great play by a great offensive play.
Ben Michaels on the low block. Nothing there. Gives it to Dunn. And Tyson Dunn's found the groove here in the second half. 12 of his 14 points have come in the second half.
I mean, the Bulls.
And that is a milestone for Tyson Dunn as well. Here's Clayton trying to get his career 1,000th point. Three-pointer won't go, and a foul. So Tyson Dunn, most of those points came when he played at Western Ontario University, but now 1,000 career points for the Bulls senior from Newmarket, Ontario, Tyson Dunn. And a chance to add to it from the line. So we might have two guys hit 1,000 points in the same game, because you know, based on shooting the last three, that Clayton would like to do it here as well.
I don't think Coach is going to let him to. He's coming out. He's not going to let him get it.
Yeah, all right. So they're going to have to wait. It's going to have to happen, and it will happen at home for the Ohio Bobcats. That is where they are headed for their next game. So Clayton checks out with 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Full court pressure again by the Bulls. Nearly a steal by McVeigh. This is Ben Nickel in the ballgame, number 7 for Ohio. And that 3 will go. Off the bench for Ben Estes. Just his 5th game of the season. Sophomore from South Lake, Texas. And Tyson Dunn with another 3. Minute to go.
Estes like he wanted to shoot that one too.
Bulls trying to avoid giving up 90 points for the 4th consecutive game. Estes pulls up from the baseline, no good. Rebounded by Dunn. Ahead for McVeigh. And let it rain, Lloyd McVeigh. And a timeout call. 34.1 to go. Yeah, the Bulls will be home to Kent State, and then 2 in a row on the road next week at Bowling Green at Western Michigan. Trapped in the corner, and a timeout called. You know, and again, cutting this.
A close game right now.
Yeah, and it was that first half drought where the Bulls went, I think, had stretches of almost 5 minutes scoreless, allowed Ohio to go on a 26-6 run that kind of blew this game open, that allowed the Bobcats to lead by 17 at the half, and it's just been an uphill climb since then for the Bulls, even though they have had some very positive moments here in the second half.
And then on the other side, as a head coach at Ohio, you can show your team the good things and then the bad things where you let the team come back. You didn't keep your foot on the pedals. And
Lloyd McVeigh going in for the slam gets fouled from behind by Elijah Elliott.
That's a good hustle play by Elijah Elliott.
Feed from Ryan Sable. Lloyd McVeigh's brother Jack plays in the NBA on the Houston Rockets, where one of his teammates is former Bulls standout Janathan Williams. One more for Lloyd McVeigh. Up and in. And again, good chance for the Bulls to work on, practice, and execute the full court pressure. Tyson Dunn up to 21 points. Bulls have cut this inside of Team Your Way.
Right. I mean, these are the times where you can, as a coach, you can experiment. Both sides, too, honestly. But Ohio is more, some of the young guys probably won't be playing as much anymore because they didn't do what they were supposed to do when they were in the game.
All right, final 8 seconds of this one. And again, full court pressure, trying to dribble it out here. And Pavletsky will be able to do that. And that will bring us to an end. An impressive run in the first half allows Jeff Bull's team to start 2-0 in the MAC. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 6 of their last 7.